Bobbie Tsukahara and Gil Starkey wanted to attract the 3 Bs, butterflies, birds, and bees, when they renovated their garden. Since their property backs up to water quality protection land adjoining the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center, it was especially important to them to contribute to nature's gifts rather than deplete them. But when they moved from Boston to build their home in 2000, they were newcomers to native Texas philosophy.
Discovering native gardening was really the key for us. I had no idea how rich the flora of Texas is, and the fact if you plant wisely, you can have something blooming for most of the year. Something is in blossom for a large portion of the year. That was amazing to me.
Their daughter-in-law, Pam Pennock, now a landscape designer, helped them make the transition. As a transplant herself, she learned the new rules for Texas gardening.
She started educating us around native plants. And so that was an enormous help because we had lived in New England for 15 years. So to come to Texas and garden is a major transition. In New England, you just put something out and it grows. And here, we had to learn about what would handle the extreme heat, drought, and so on.
We did try to do buffalo grass initially, and it just did not do well, I think because of so many weeds blowing in. So we decided we wanted to turn this whole backyard into a garden. And we, from the beginning, wanted to do 3 things with that garden. Of course, one, make something that we would enjoy, but we also strongly wanted to draw birds, butterflies, and bees into the yard to have a very natural setting. So that's really what drove us in the whole approach to this, was trying to appeal to those 3 constituencies.
In 2008, Bobbie and Gil began working with Troy Nixon and Judy Walther of Environmental Survey Consulting to address drainage issues, structural design, and plants for the 3 Bs. Even in the small backyard, Troy and Judy provided travel, destinations, and slowdown moments. Non-natives mingle with natives, but all are on a short water leash.
We are, both of us, very, very sensitive to water. We had actually taken a trip to Israel a few years before we moved down here, and were so struck by their commitment to making the desert bloom, which is their sort of their country's thing, is they'll talk about making the desert bloom, but with conserving water. And so I had this heightened awareness of water when we moved to Austin, having taken that trip. And then we were struck by the topography of Austin and how similar it is to parts of Israel. And then, of course, we located on top of the Edwards Aquifer recharge zone. So that all of those things together heightened our awareness and our commitment to conservation of water.
And our location helps. Having native gardening to attract the birds that are right over here in this Prop 2 preserve land. We get, every year, we have painted buntings in our backyard. It's just amazing. The lesser goldfinches, I've seen rufous-sided towhees back here, roadrunners, a quail covey, turkey hen just on the other side of the fence. I mean, you name the bird, cedar waxwings passing through, or just almost any kind of bird. Cardinals, of course, mockingbirds all over the place. Just tons of birds back here. And it's when we're inside and have the view from our living room, which is basically a wall of glass facing this garden, there's constant bird action out here.
And butterfly action as well. There's always butterfly action.
Every year, of course, we have a lot of mockingbirds around here, and somebody's nesting either in the yard or very close to it. And one of the big kicks I get is when the fledgling, when the new brood is big enough to fly, and they all come into this backyard, and there will be 6, 7 of them in one family, and they love to get on these chairs and chase each other around from chair to chair. It's just hilarious to watch.
Yes, like musical chairs on the patio.
Certainly, they don't use any pesticides to fend off friends, but Troy and Judy did help them keep out the wildlife they don't want up close.
The other thing was the rattlesnake barrier. We have this collapsed cave off the property right over here, and so we were getting a lot of rattlesnakes in the yard. And with young grandchildren, that was a problem. Also with dogs, that was a problem. So they helped us to tighten up. We had a rattlesnake barrier that we had already done with the advice of a herpetologist, but then they helped to tighten it up. So I don't think we've had a rattlesnake at all since they did their work.
Like any garden, of course it means some tending, especially when perennials need seasonal pruning. But rather than a constant drain of time, the resourceful plants give back.
I see it as a form of therapy. We both, of course, are busy in our work, and except in the heavy spring, fall, late winter cleanup stuff. Other than that, it's just, it's very, very therapeutic, very peaceful to come out and do some deadheading, just walk our little paths here. It gives back much more than we have to put into it.
It's like a mini vacation. It's so quiet here. It's so peaceful. And we've had guests just sit on the deck and watch the birds and the butterflies. And so that was really a goal overall for this whole property. And fortunately, I think we've been able to achieve some of that.